Are you ready to be a bit digital millionaire? How many shares would you need to achieve that? That is what we're going to investigate today. Let's have a look here at the bit digital chart. We are going to review where we think this thing could potentially go and then have a look at the chart and see how we could achieve bit digital millionaire status this cycle. So first of all, this is the chart here. It looks a little bit different than usual. I've got it as a line chart today, and there's a reason for that, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But first of all, we're going to go back and do a little review. If you remember, this is the Win Moon episode for Bit Digital. So this right here is ending. The screen currently is showing where I stated it could potentially go, given the dilution that is currently on the books and potentially coming. If Bit Digital reached the previous all-time high market cap of Marathon Digital, and that came out to about $69.35. Then we've got, it came out to RIOT's previous all-time high, and I believe that was about $44.22. If it reached RIOT's previous all-time high market cap for this one. So now let's have a look at Bit Digital's market cap right now. Currently, it's about $250 million company. Its previous all-time high was $1 billion. So we're currently a fourth of the size of what the company used to be. Now, if we get up to that level here, again, which could happen, wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility. So we established that, okay, it could get up to potentially just over $1 billion. We'll use a billion. For example, will represent a billion with 1,000. And they will have, after the full dilution is out, 109 million shares, okay? That would be a $9.17 Bit Digital at their previous all-time high market cap. Now, if we think that's as high as it can possibly go, and it'll never go any higher than $1 billion, you're going to need a significantly higher amount of shares than if it goes higher, like let's say to 4 billion or 7 billion. So if it reached only the previous all-time high market cap of $1 billion, we would have a $9.17 Bit Digital. How many shares would we need? You're going to need 109,051.25 shares of Bit Digital in order to be a Bit Digital millionaire if Bit Digital only reaches its previous all-time high market cap of $1 billion. Now, what would that cost you today if you were to invest in that? Well, it's $2.17, so it's going to be just slightly over $200,000. It'll be closer to like 250, right? Almost a $250,000, I want to say. So it's currently $2.17. That would cost you just under $250,000 at $236,641.22. Get out of here, Omen Gaming Hub. So if you believe that Bit Digital can do no better than its previous all-time high market cap of $1 billion, you would need to invest about $237,000 into Bit Digital in order to become a Bit Digital millionaire. Now, let's have a look at if it reaches the previous all-time high market cap of RIOT, which we established in our Win Moon episode of Bit Digital to be $44.22. And if you want to know how we came to these numbers, go ahead and watch the Bit Digital Win Moon video that came out just about a month ago. So most of this is pretty much still relevant right now, unless something changes very soon now. This is still relevant. So let's have a look at that. So $44, if it reaches $44. And what was it? $44.22. So if we do the $44.22, let's have a look, see. We went with 1 million. 44.22, you're going to need 22,614 shares. Let's call it 22,615. So 22,615 shares times by 217, you're going to need $49,075 invested into Bit Digital in order to become a Bit Digital millionaire if Bit Digital reaches the market cap value of RIOT's previous all-time high market cap, which is only 4 times Bit Digital's previous all-time high market cap. And if you remember, back then, BlackRock wasn't on the scene investing in these things. AI was not a part of Bit Digital's business back then. They have grown quite a lot in the last 3.5 years or so since then. So to say that their highest all-time high market cap possibility is only what they've done in 2021, it seems like that could be a bit low. So I do think that there is a great potential that we could, I don't know if we'd see $44, but I do hold hope that we could get closer to like the $27, $28. And I think that's what I mentioned in When Moon, in fact. Let me see, yeah, somewhere around here, yeah, about 27.52 was where I said my reasonable estimate was around 27.52, saying like, maybe it won't get as high as, say, RIOT or Marathon's previous all-time high market caps, but reasonably, considering all the factors at play, considering all the much bigger players buying into these things now. And remember, pension funds are buying Bitcoin now. Bitcoin's going to go crazy. And they're also very likely to start looking at buying some of these assets as well alongside their Bitcoin. So if we only reach my kind of middle of the road, things go well but not like to the moon per se for Bit Digital, we could reach about $27.52, which would need be about 36,337 shares. If we have 36,337 shares times by 2.17, you would need to invest about $78,851 in order to be a Bit Digital millionaire this cycle, assuming you planned it perfectly, got in right now, exited at the exact top, and did everything just like absolutely perfectly. Then you could potentially, with $78,000 or almost $79,000, become a Bit Digital millionaire. That is insane. That would be an insane return on your money. Now, there was the best case scenario, and the best case scenario was if it reached Marathon's previous all-time high market cap, which was $7.5 billion. And if we including our dilution, the shares will go up to a maximum of 109 million shares at this time. It could increase later on, which would make this number decrease, and I will cover that if that happens. But it could reach potentially reach a level of $68.80. I think Mars was actually a little higher than that. I think it was, let me do it. Let me go back and look at it because I know it was a little higher than that. There we go, 69.35. Because I know that Mars' previous all-time high market cap was like 7.54 billion, something like that. So 69.35 was the number I came to on the When Moon episode. $1 million divided by 69.35. Technically 36, whatever. 14,419 shares. If we believe that, well, 20 shares. If we believe that Bit Digital could potentially reach the previous all-time high market cap of Marathon Digital at $7.54 billion, you would need 14,420 shares of Bit Digital to be a Bit Digital millionaire. And how much would that cost you right now? That'll cost you about $31,291.50 about in order to become a Bit Digital millionaire. If you were to enter right now, and if you exited perfectly at the price of $69.35, which would represent a $7.54 billion market cap for Bit Digital if they don't dilute any shares past what they've already got on the books for dilution. That's what would get you to be a Bit Digital millionaire at that status. That's actually not too bad. Now, like I said, I don't necessarily think it's going to get there. I think you're probably going to need more like the 78,000 shares in order to get to that level, which again, $78,000 worth of shares in order to get to that level, at that $27, $28 level for Bit Digital. It might surprise us and go up into the mid to 30s to low 40s maybe. But like in my head, I really don't see it going much higher than $27, to be honest. That's what I personally think. And of course, this is not financial advice and not a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever. Now, let's dig into the chart. Currently, honestly, I think we're basing on Bit Digital. I think we're basing on Bit Digital largely because of this area back here and the fact that we're back in this zone right here. And we've been in this zone for a little while now. We've been kind of messing with this zone since March 11th. We went below it, we came back into it, and now we're just fluctuating inside of it. And if you notice this green dashed line over here at the front, if we take this to the back, 234, remember that number 234. Check this out. Remember, if you were with me last year, remember I was calling this a shelf, right? This was like the shelf. It was holding us back. It's the ceiling. It really was a ceiling. I guess when it was up here, I was calling it a shelf. Down here, it was a ceiling. We're under that ceiling again. We're in between this ceiling and this floor right here at 196. And we've been in that range, mostly in that range, since early March. Now, this 234 level is representing a ceiling again, something that we need to break through decisively in order to go higher up. Let me get rid of this. Now, do we think we're going to go lower than this and continue up? I don't necessarily think so. We are in this aggressive downward trend right now. Once we break out of this very aggressive downward trend that we've been in since February 14th, once we get out of this channel here and above this 234, I think we're very quickly going to find ourselves at $3. $3 is sort of where that really intense pivot point is going to be for this stock, because you notice every time we get over $3, we go up pretty fast, like 340 on this run here in May 2023, on this run here in June 2023 that ended in early July 2023, ran all the way up to 459. Over here in December, we ran all the way up to 356 before coming back down to 289 and then immediately rocketing back up to to over $5. $3 is a pivot point for this stock. We get over $3, we're very likely, very quickly going to come up to 350 to about 330 to 350, right? We're going to very quickly get into somewhere in this space right here. And I'll leave this on here. I think we're very quickly going to get into this little cloud right here. About 350-ish, maybe 360, about right there. We're very quickly going to enter into this cloud. And then I do think that we will also very quickly come out of it, because if you've noticed, every time we've come up to it, we've sharply declined from it for at least a short period of time. So I'd expect it to come out of this cloud or into this cloud, back down to $3. And then once it gets to $3, then I'm expecting full-on rocket. And I do think that that is very likely to come. So I am looking at this right now as if this is likely towards a bottom right now. I think that honestly, the bottom right now is probably about right here. Probably about 209 to $2, right? Between 209 and $1.97. So in fact, I'll just leave the $1.97 on there because I think it could go maybe as low as that. But if you've noticed, come on, Omen Gaming Hub, go away. If you notice here, this ascending trend line right here, this ascending channel, we are currently at the bottom of it. Now, are we going to bounce here or break this and find ourselves down at 196? That could happen. Could totally happen. If we did, that would be bad, because our next level of resistance, is at 190, just under $2, 197-ish. And if that breaks, we're looking at 165 as our next level of support, which would be quite demoralizing, to be honest. With the amount of shares I have, that would be very demoralizing. So we're looking for a bounce here, and if it bounces here, we're looking to come out of this descending channel, which lines up with the summer rally theory. So if we break out of this descending channel, we'll come up above 234, come back test 234, and then honestly, we're running for $3. And that's where we will find our next level of resistance that is really going to hold us back. That is going to act as that pivot point, very much like $19.80 acts for Marathon Digital. And we will see ourselves flying very, very high, very, very fast after $3 once we conquer that thing. And running into the summer, hopefully in the summer, we'll be looking at, about $5 again, maybe even $7 or $8. And I do think that that is actually possible right now for one very specific reason I'm going to show you right now. If we come into here, you can see that short interest is at 26.89%. Now, this is measured only as late as April 30th, so it is a little bit behind. I haven't been able to find any information sooner than that. Now, if I come in here, there's this one right here, right? I've got an indicator for short interest. I don't know exactly how accurate it is, but it is some kind of measure. And it is showing that if we go to the weekly, let's go to the weekly. There we go. If we go to the weekly, our short interest is actually still quite high. It was way higher back here, which was probably a good time to be short on it. But currently, even though price is really low, it is elevated. Remember, last time price was here, short interest was significantly lower than it currently is right now. So if price were to start moving up, they would get squeezed. We would enter into a short squeeze. If that occurs, I don't think that we are going to be limited to that $5 cap like we were back here in December. And especially with the meme stonks taking off right now, like GameStop, AMC, a few others, with those sorts of rockets, if someone sniffs out this high short interest on Bit Digital and decides to start buying it in volume, we could see ourselves sitting, $7, $8, maybe even $9 off of a short squeeze. We could see ourselves getting towards like this little area right around here, actually. Boom, right there. We would be finding ourselves over here because, and I found that by looking left over here, seeing that one, this was the point of a double top back here, and it was also a point of a peak back here in 2020. So this would be an area I would be looking for a short squeeze to find its final resting place at the top of the move, somewhere around $7 to $8. Now, I do have some orders set for about $9.50 just in case things get a little too juicy and it goes even higher and wants to come just a little bit higher towards like that $9 mark. But that is what I'm looking at right now for Bit Digital. So that's all I've got for you today. Are you going to be a Bit Digital millionaire, or are you going to be more like me, where I have, what do I have? I think I have what, 3,500 shares right now. If it goes to my target price of like 27 bucks, I'd be looking at about $94,000 off of it. If it does the RIOT move, I'd be looking at about $241,000 off of it. And over the summer right now, I'm actually looking to swing about 1,000 shares. So I'm looking to add, and I have been adding to that position. I've been looking to swing about 1,000 shares and get that up to, sell it around, maybe 775 or something. Well, let's do an odd number, 772, like, and turn that into about $7,000 or so this summer. That's my hope. I want to see it get into this box, and then I would absolutely swing, a few hundred or even 1,000 shares from 217 to $7. That would be amazing. And that's what I'm looking at potentially doing on Monday. I haven't done that yet. I have been accumulating in my longer term position, but I am considering doing something like swinging 500 or 1,000 shares from its current levels to whatever the summer rally does. For Bit Digital, that's been my personal thought. Of course, this is not financial advice, not a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever. That's just kind of what I'm thinking of doing. I haven't executed on that yet, but it is in my mind something I'm considering. So that is all I've got for you today. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a profitable day.